Well, let's get started right away. Neeja, that's of course going to lead to more bad press for the government.
Well, yes, and people already reeling under rising prices, food prices not coming down, prices just going up, and this will have a spiraling effect. That's number one. Whose side is the government on? And the government cannot just throw up his hands helplessly and say we can't do anything about it. The second thing is, which is the moot point, is the oil companies are saying that we can't continue to make losses, and but if even at the present rates, they would be making profits if the excise duties, the custom duties, the various taxes that are imposed were not imposed, which are imposed to cut down the fiscal deficit. And cannot the government find other ways of cutting down the fiscal deficit? The 5 lakh crores they gave in tax breaks to the corporates, the black money mopping, about which there is little political will coming, that would mop up, according to the experts, 15 lakh crores. So what we require really is a political will from on the part of the government that they really stand for the Aam Aadmi. And there's little evidence
this
of
is the government that claims to be an Aam Aadmi.
That's right. And of late, I think they're losing a lot of ground as a result, politically.
In fact, that was actually going to be my next question, that they sort of do find themselves on the back foot, and of course it's come as great fodder for the opposition.
Yeah, absolutely. And whether it's rising prices and whether it's corruption, somewhere people are also making a link between the two, a lot of money being made at their expense. And I think that they will have to go in for course correction if they really are serious about it.
We're only just 2 years into their second term, but clearly perhaps it's time to sort of step back and reflect. You mentioned two things. Of course, mentioned price rise. You also mentioned corruption. Talking about corruption, our next big focus this evening. This was never going to be an easy relationship, but now the deep differences between the government and civil society representatives on the Lokpal panel are back out in the open. Activists say they are frustrated as the government doesn't want the anti-corruption body to oversee any of the top offices like the Prime Minister. Sunil Prabhu has more.
As Anna Hazare went in for the meeting with union ministers this morning, little did he realize that the government was taking a U-turn. Talks on the Lokpal bill was heading for a breakdown. After a marathon 3-hour meeting, the group refused to concede to the basic principles demanded by Anna Hazare and his nominees. The points of disagreement are critical to a strong anti-corruption law. 1. The government doesn't want the PM to be included. Team Anna does. 2. Whether the Lokpal should have powers over the judiciary, the legislature and executive.
In the discussion on these issues, unfortunately, we found that the response of the government was not very reasonable.
While the government is refusing to blink but will stay the course, given how Hazare's fast against corruption caught the public imagination, and for now the government is buying time, writing to the states and parties for their views before taking a final decision.
Both sides are constructively looking at those divergences, and we will meet next time on the 6th of May, and thereafter 6th of June, thereafter on the 10th of June.
NDTV's cricket app, Android and iPhone, fastest scorecard, special analysis and much more. Download free. ndtv.com/apps.